this one. Hold on, don't spoil me. Okay, this is the same stuff, right? I've seen in the games. Alright, wow. Alright, so I've been anticipating this game for ever since, what was it, 2018 when they first announced it? And I just had a bit of, alright, so I'm gonna hit into it, and now it's finally out. I feel very old. Hold on, my lip sync isn't working here. Hold on, just 1 second, game. Do not go on without me. Okay, hold on. I think it's, yeah, I think it should be working now. I'll make sure that it will capture my voice. Okay, we'll be good to go with that. Alright, so English subtitles. No subtitles. Why would you not have subtitles? Of course you need this. Have I played the power? Yes, I have. I did it on stream like half a year ago. The computer is barely visible. I can still see it. I'll just turn it up a bit so people can see it. Alright, are we getting into it? The current time, 9:31. It might not be. Here, I'm gonna let it head to 32. Okay. Accessibility settings from the main menu. Okay. Here we are. Ultra Deluxe. Let's see if it's way better than the original. Oh, the controls should be good.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Let it run.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
He sure has.
And Stanley was happy.
A happy man. Good for him.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Oh.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, so, I guess they're repeating the old dialogue from the narrator and probably adding some new shit in as well. The graphics, they look pretty much the same. So maybe some updates in them. It looks a lot better than the last game, that's for sure. It's a lot better than its original counterpart. Let me just take a look. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And it feels like we're much, like the office has been leveled up higher up now. It's higher up now. We feel like
no matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Like we're an actually decent size. Did they bring back the 430 joke? No.
Oh, please.
Oh, yes, they did.
Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
This one was in the
Now
OG.
suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
We're gonna go fast.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost.
Yes.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417, let's go. I think it was around... Oh, I remember this place. 417, where's 417?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Door 437, let's go. It's around here.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Door 415 is... Where the fuck is it? Over here.
Now, back to door number 437.
Back. Back to 437, I remember it. Memorization. Right.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? Yeah. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I'm feeling it too. Right here.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419's desk. It is right here.
Yes!
Okay,
this
we got
is
it.
great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Door 416, we gotta go look for 416. Where the fuck is 416? We might have a time limit. No, we don't have a time limit. But I think it is right here.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
We have to go to the copy machine.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5!
Yes! We did it!
Easy.
Oh, wow.
We got our first
That felt
achievement.
amazing.
2 achievements.
You really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
So, give it 2 achievements. It gives you a first achievement. Oh, look, you got your first achievement. That's a great achievement. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The infamous 2 doors. There's gonna be some brand new shit in here, I'm telling you.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
Tables
up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I thought this turned off. Ah, the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Damn right.
Coming to a staircase,
Oh, no, it's not.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
The infamous insanity ending. I know that one. That one's a pretty scary ending to me, so I'm going to move forward up to the boss's office. Ooh, executive bathroom. Can we head out the window of the executive bathroom? I have no clue. But shit certainly looks a lot better here. I wonder if they added even more games to the who is it? That game's ending. You basically say fuck the narrator.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark
2, 8,
secret
4,
was being
5.
held from him? What he could not. Stanley was in
remembered
such
it.
a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible,
remembered
he
it.
didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Yeah, coming New Age. Musics. This film, I remember this.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
That shit gets so dark. Jesus. Alright. Makes more sense, though. Damn, everything looks so different. All the shady lights, everything loads much faster.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Can you try going back up the elevator? Yes. That
Whoops.
wasn't there before.
Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
This is new. We're going back up. Oh my goodness. We can just reverse everything if we wanted to. Alright, we're back in this office.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator.
Type it to
It's still just
8,
exactly
4,
what it is.
5 again?
What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again.
Okay.
This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and
Let me see
fascinating
then.
ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of
Secret door.
uncompromising narrative.
No, I
Wow.
thought that was just-
I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Right, what if we had... No. What's fucking around here then? Is there a specific code I could type in? Is there any hints on what a code I could type in? Imagine a fucking backrooms ending, I would be fucking afraid. Could we head back down? Could we open back up the door? No, it's locked. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing all the random things. 3, 3, 7. No. 4, 2, 7. Did I just type that in and does something, or put 0 at the end? No, I won't do that. Maybe 0427. Let me see if it's possible. No. The date 427. Oh wait, I gotta. Here, let me just. 4 April and then 4 2. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm the dumbass. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna head back. Alright, what if we head back at this time?
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going
Everything
down
was-
again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
The elevator was locked. We can head back up.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Okay, it should change. Let's see. I don't know. It could have. What? Oh.
Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me.
Office.
Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Well. Alright, we're gonna see. We're gonna process. Alright, we've got something.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
What? Okay. You have to hold again. I want to continue this. I want to keep going up and down the elevator until it does some. I'm just gonna keep repeating it.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it.
Really?
I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Okay, can we...
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean,
it
sure,
looks
now
like
it's
it's
obvious, but you have to
slowly
understand
going
that
down.
30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Okay. Can we continue? Yes. We're just gonna see what happens. Okay, he's not talking anymore, so I guess that's the end of that. Or not.
You
Wait.
know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment.
Oh, this is
Don't you
different.
realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley.
The
You and I,
anticipation.
we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill.
Yeah.
Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Oh, that's
There we go.
pretty damn slow.
Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but...
So hold on, let me basically talk for a sec. So basically, they're getting all the little minor things from the original game, and they're expanding it tenfold. That's what I think.
Well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better.
Oh, damn.
Oh, good, we're here.
Ooh.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Alright, nice looking place. We heading here? No, of course not. What was I thinking? Of course we're not heading in here. Alright. World's healthiest human being. All tricks revealed. How we did it. The pyramids. Live. The guy who went to Mars. All eyes on live the stage. Stanley's face. Oh my goodness. You don't see much of Stanley's face. This is pretty shocking. An evening with world peace, baby.
Ah, yes. Here it is, just through this door.
Hold on a sec, I want to read the other things. Stanley Parable, Stanley. And then more, the fifth legend, the Parable, Stanley. Alright. We're right through this door. To the stage.
Are you ready?
Welcome,
I've
Stanley.
told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great. The dude who came up with pizza. The Lord meet and greet. Alright. Oh damn. Holy shit. Yes. That's his face. Oh my god. Oh, it killed me. Okay, that was too much for me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That was a little too much for Stanley's brain to comprehend. At least we saw his face. We never saw his face much in the original game. Now we're really showing it off. Alright, right door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I'm gonna nitpick every single minor thing in this game, because that's what I think. They expanded it tenfold.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all. Just as but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We're taking a look in here. We're not even going that way. Because I know
Stanley
that's
was
the
so bad at
confusion
following
of it.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
When you fall off of this, it's death. Unless they actually somehow made it even easier to...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story... What? Really? But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yep, that's what happens. That makes me mad.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Remember this? That's where you go to the button heaven. We'll try that again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So like I said, this leads to the confusing ending going down there. They might have changed that one too.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
About this third option. Mr. Narrator. Was that in the original game? I'd want to know. You can head through this one. It might appear. Wait, it'll...
Aha! Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Hold on. A card might appear. Hold on.
I still don't think we're communicating
Where is it?
properly.
Where is it? Where is it?
Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope. I'm looking for that fucking card. Okay, it's not here. I want to have this third option. Well, I guess I'm not
All
getting
right,
it.
fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Brilliant.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I'm real honest.
A
It's a
one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a one? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that?
You're gonna
I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
leaderboard.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
You only get up to a 3.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
I'm gonna watch it.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game?
I'm gonna see different
Squeeze
games.
the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
It's more than just Minecraft and Portal.
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Different games. Yes.
Aha! Fascinating. What
I
do you
was
think
right.
This game is
Different
about, Stanley?
games.
What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
What was the game called? I forgot the name of the game. It was,
Oh no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off.
Oh shit.
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no
dang.
path to follow.
The
You can
whole
just go
thing.
in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Wait.
We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another
What
game.
about over there?
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big,
With big
insurmountable
walls.
walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Get me out of here. Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what
Holy
I had in
shit.
mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally
Where's the fucking
impressed.
car? I want to shoot a goal, man. Dude, and this is like the...
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think
give me
it's
the ball.
sports
Where's the ball
Oh,
then?
what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must.
Where's the ball at?
Okay, Stanley, here's the ball.
Okay,
Have
okay,
fun.
okay. Where is it? Yeah. Some Rocket League time. Alright. Okay, we can move fast. Alright. There we go. Easy score for me.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
All right, we're
Is
heading
it
to the
better than
orange
my
one this time.
miserable little story that I worked so hard
It's
on?
my old Rocket League
Stanley, I
skills.
have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric
down
sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Here I come for it. I'm running as
Yes!
fast as I
Oh
fucking
goodness,
can.
that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have
Old
to have
Rocket League
more.
skills.
I'm insatiable. More balls!
Four balls. Oh shit. Okay. Alright. Oh. Easy Scott. This one looks like it's just going in by itself. Boom. Alright,
Are you
continue.
enjoying this, Stanley?
Yes.
Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
What's over?
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is
come
my
on.
game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like
was
me
really
to set
enjoying that
boundaries
shit,
for
man.
you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure.
gonna go find
I'm your
another one?
sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Alright, well, I guess we're heading down this hole that's in the goal. Damn. So that first game I don't know, but this the Rocket League, damn right. This shit just got a whole better.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, remember this? This was in.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Okay. And the original stuff should be coming in. Yeah. This is the original Stanley variable. I'm afraid they changed this too. I'm afraid they added a fucking jump scare. Alright. Like, it's so damn quiet. Nothing, man. Okay, do doors. Remember this. Yep. Yup. I swear to God. Okay, photos of his desk. Pog man. Don't add a jump scare. Don't add a jump scare, please. I swear to God, if you add a fucking jump scare, I will fucking murder. Okay. We're good.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
Maybe
and if
it's
he's learned the
different
heavy
games
cost
every
that
time.
comes with it.
Maybe it wasn't
He'll
just
understand
those two
soon what I was
games.
trying to tell him.
Maybe it's
He
randomly
needs
generated.
me.
There could be more
Someone
than
who
just
will
those
wrap
two
everything
games.
up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Waiting for a long fucking time, that's for sure. Alright,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
First we'll put the input in here somehow. Because we have to stand, yeah. Ooh, new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Oh, where are we headed? Head somewhere. Oh shit. What new content? I hear the music.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013
Never
on
did
home
this.
computers.
Yeah.
After
played
receiving
it.
critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley
Yes.
Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Damn.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the
new
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
What was that one? Alright, let's see the new content.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing
yeah.
adventure.
Just
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go.
finally.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content.
go
I've
on.
never been more ready. Let's do it.
yeah, new content. Can't fucking wait any longer.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if,
Hold on, I think it's getting
Let's
there.
see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Alright, let's go. Where's that new content? Ooh.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Can't jump. What jump? We're jumping! Oh my god! It's everything I could have wanted. Jump. Hup, hup. We're fucking jumping in the Stanley Parable. I thought it was impossible. But we're actually jumping. How the fuck is this possible? I don't understand. What? What kind of a zero is this? Can I keep jumping? Nope, I can't jump anymore. There was
Is
short.
that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another
Okay,
elevator.
okay,
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's
Yeah,
just
they're not.
elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Yeah.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box.
Damn
The
right.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And Oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Good
Yes.
stuff.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Alright, we're walking through this bridge. Wait, what?
That's it? Oh, you've
Don't
got to be kidding
tell
me.
me
You
that's
see,
the
Stanley?
end.
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me
Yeah.
started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's
we're
my
gonna
fault,
go
Stanley.
find them on
I built
Twitter.
up
We're
too
gonna-
much anticipation around the new content,
Oh,
I'm
we can
afraid.
go on
It could
Twitter.
never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll
We're still
try
in
to
this
get back to
chair?
what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I don't know. Yeah, let's head back. This. Oh, this is different.
Psst! Stanley!
What?
Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay, let's go in here. Okay. What's in here?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it
Yeah,
got me
it was
thinking
bullshit.
about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
I just wanted them to talk so I can. Oh my goodness. Elden Ring all over again. Alright. Oh shit.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I...
Wait a second. I'm thinking, will this turn out how I think it's gonna turn out to be? Everywhere at the end of time? Is it gonna happen?
I want. Experiences
know.
like the launch
Will this one experience like dementia and Alzheimer's and just the keeps going down?
of the
so it
Stanley
just gets-
Parable on PC.
No, I'm not too sure. That's just a theory of mine. I don't know. It's just a. I don't even know if it's gonna happen. We're just gonna see it.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory
2013.
Zone remind you of how
Yeah.
wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was
Don't
sullied with a
forget.
cheap re-release?
Yeah.
Remember back in
Good
October
times.
of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
It's Stanley's face. At least I can think it is. Independent Games Festival. Yeah, good times. I remember them. The US dollar. A trip down memory lane. Can we listen to that? Could be good. Good days. The insanity ending. Just good times, man. What happened to
And
them?
over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was
Yeah,
Persona
Skyrim.
3. It was
It
all
is
of them.
Persona
And
3.
now, it's nothing.
It's unfortunate.
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Yeah, it sucks. Wait, choices. Can you look? Memory zone maintenance. Oh, so I'm the dementia now. I can make it all worse. Person of the year. We can't even see his face. Remember when you couldn't see Stanley's
Here's another
face?
moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The
Yeah.
game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Like, it had carpet textures. How could you not?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down
Things
here?
are getting worse.
Oh no.
Memories
Oh, God, no.
shifting.
Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been
it's
collecting down here.
different.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Uh-oh. It was a recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick
The
them.
memories are getting worse. I'm telling you, it's everywhere at the end of time, all over again. More negative reviews. What the fuck is going on? Oh shit. Who's positive?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can
No,
tell
he's
me if I'm
losing it.
preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh,
The
goodness.
narrator's
This is actually
beginning to
quite
lose
shocking
it.
for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Oh,
Like I let
don't
these
say
people
that.
down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say?
Where are the positives?
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm
don't.
truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Skip button. There it is.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me Oh, you're back, you see? You were
Was there
only
something
frozen in
behind?
time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of
Alright,
choice
I'm
in
gonna have
video
to skip
games.
again.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption,
Still
it's
nothing
right
there.
at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that
Wait,
the amount
where's
of time the
going?
button has been skipping through is
There's a bit
becoming
here.
longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable.
I'm skidding again.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting long. Oh, Stanley.
Oh,
You're
oh.
back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I
How
have
long
someone
has it
to talk
been?
to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Weeks.
I've been sitting here all that
Alright,
time.
we'll play it again. I can't see shit.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're
Oh.
here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about
You
us
can
and about everything we've
skip
been
it
through.
again if
I've
you
had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have
A
you ever
year?
sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you.
No. I think I don't even hear him anymore. Is there a door? No. Skip again. We don't even hear him anymore. What? I'm afraid what's gonna happen. Ow! I'm just gonna continue skipping like this. Where's that beeping coming from? We can skip again. Oh, it's this. Turn it fucking off. It should be.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the
You're
jokes? Where are
back.
the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First,
And now he's silent again. What the fuck is going on? I see drifts. Will this whole place eventually collapse? I'm curious.
the end is never the end, is never
now
the
he's-
end,
oh,
is
he's
never the
saying it.
end, is never the 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 end, is never the.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Where is he at? Now it's basically raining over here. What the fuck is up there? Still going. Damn. Oh shit. Yeah, I told you. This would eventually fall. It's just, everything's beginning to collapse. It's daytime. Did it snow? What? I need some kind of... We're gonna have to skip again and wait for something. It's growing. It's just like Portal 2. Now it's everything's growing up. The narrator's gone. I don't even hear him anymore. Damn, things are becoming weirder and weirder. Oh. Now it's all dead. What the fuck? I don't like where this is going. Please. Now just silence. What the fuck is that? I'm so afraid. No, keep skipping. I need to go further. Oh shit. I've been pressing that button too much, huh? Oh. Well. I guess this button's finished. I can finally head out. Oh my god. Could we press that button? Oh, let's see something. Now we're in the desert for nothing, though. I told you, this place has finally been fucked over. The office is no more, nothing is no more. All we have now is an endless desert. Pure nothing. We can't press this button if we wanted to. Damn. How many years have gone by? Hundreds? Thousands? What the fuck is going on? That's it? What the fuck? I wanted to explore that desert.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Damn,
What could it mean?
one of the
Stanley
best
decided to go to the
endings by
meeting
far.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Different? New content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Let's see. Is it newer than new? It might be newer than new. Okay, this shit could be different. What?
You see, Stanley,
New-
I've
oh,
been
it says new
reflecting on
content
the
back.
Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
Yeah.
So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense.
Going
I say we
super
take
high,
it
uh-oh.
one step even further. Which is why
happened?
I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah, Stanley Parable 2, finally. End is never the end again. Stanley
Yes,
Parable
you
2.
see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged
Finally.
sequel. An entirely
An
new
actual
experience,
sequel to
built
the
from the
game.
ground up. Why, there are so many
Stanley
possibilities.
Parable 2.
It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Definitely. Oh, what's in here?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Yeah, for
Ultra
sure.
Deluxe? What does it
fuck
even
is
mean?
Ultra Deluxe,
But the
bro?
Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's
Mm-hmm.
future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation
Click
and
speaker
long-term
buttons.
franchising potential.
Can we do it from here? No. Wait, who are those two people? I can't tell. Some two people. I'm sorry. I just can't tell who they are.
Now, to be
Alright.
clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development
wait
is
for
much
show
more of
floor.
a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
It says there's new content in there. Alright, let's continue looking around this place. Oh, yes.
Here we are. Go
Stanley
on,
Parable.
try out some of the new features.
Okay. Damn, alright. Wait, this is Stanley's new avatar? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative, wonderful. One of my more ingenious
falling down a
concoctions,
hole.
if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole,
Reminds me
you
of
can
Portal
press the
2.
teleport button to pop back up to the top, and
I
we
can see
can
the shit. We
continue
were going
onward.
this way. Press G to return to the surface. What if I don't want to return to the surface?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the
might
teleport
fall
button
to
to go
something
back to the
brilliant.
top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No. I'm gonna continue to fall down.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I
this is so
slightly
small now.
exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
Oh.
From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature, It's more of a...
It's not infinite.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole.
told
You
you,
found me
it's
out,
not
Stanley.
infinite.
I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Look.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
It's far from
If that works
infinite.
for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're
What
ready.
teleport button? I'm gonna sit. Fucking love this hole. Oh, it's whenever
Great.
you're ready.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of...
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
for heaven... You see? I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't
Yeah,
help but feel like you
it's
spent
a
a little
lot
less
shorter.
time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Okay.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow.
Super short. Man.
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect
even
that I'm starting to
infinite
hit
to
the
begin
point
with.
where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and
Press
marketing.
G, and
What's
wait for
going
this
on
and press
here?
G.
Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button
It's
not
not
working?
even working.
You sure? Well, I mean,
It's not even working.
I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this.
Make a staircase.
I'm out. Goodbye,
What?
Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Really? Oh, damn. Okay, well. Do we seriously? Oh. I hear something. Something's happening. What's happening? Someone please tell me. Oh, it's going down. Huh? This whole thing was an elevator this whole time. Fuck off an elevator, I'm going my whole way. You don't get it. Oh. We're going down, we're gonna see. We're gonna say fuck the elevator, we're gonna go on our own path. Although it's gonna be dark. Change my perspective. What? What's the music being making me weird?
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer.
I'm trying to get good music. Okay, that's fine. What the fuck is this? Alright, let me look at his face. What the fuck is that? Alright, I'm gonna change it. Okay, strong.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
Uh,
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because
This whole
this hole
fucking
is
dream.
just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single bit.
Oh, well.
So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the
and
hole?
let me go back up.
From the looks of
Make a
things,
fucking
you and I will
staircase or
have many,
ramp right
many
here.
years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
I guess they wait. It's happening again. Oh. Okay.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
More features. A reassurance bucket. Let me check this out.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Alright.
You may
I see.
even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the
like a
bucket is in
badass
your
bucket.
arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes,
That would be a
the
pain in the
bucket
ass.
is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Let's see this bucket. What are you laughing at?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact,
Yeah, this is
can
the
I say
fucking
that
bucket.
I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? Mm-hmm. All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, we go through this door. We go through this door.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
Can we put it
That
down
really
somewhere?
should be an award if it isn't already.
Guess we're just holding this fucking file. Baby was all grown up from bankrupts. Go through here.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course,
This
the
one?
first and most
Too big,
obvious answer
this one.
is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks
this
the
is the
name
first
of the
addition.
person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's press it.
Sorry,
Jim.
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, Forget whoever you are and simply become a person named Jim.
Alright.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as
Press the
Jim,
button again.
falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Jim is
Do you
a
feel it
badass
deeply?
person.
Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
Ooh,
Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
Don't start from the whole thing.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim,
can play
staying up
something
all night
if you
for a
want.
popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim,
Yeah,
developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim,
Oh, what?
rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally, dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really? All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Press it again. Wait. Yes, we could press it again. Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says, but no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
Oh, come on.
Jim.
No. I'm gonna keep pressing the Jim button. Come on, why are you gonna be such a weirdo? It's gonna come back, I'm telling you. It's gonna make its way back. I'm telling you, you left it. I've had some bad feelings. The Jim button.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable too. They would appreciate what I've created here.
Alright, let's take a look in.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay, we'll figure out the epilogue later. An easy achievement. What's going around here? Yeah, the infinite hole. You gotta remember the infinite hole. Settings World Champion. I'll go to the Settings World Championship. Let's see about that. Settings World Championship. I can't even go in it. I still have this fucking bucket in my hand after all this time. An easy achievement. Let's see it. I can't believe it's that simple. And it's Stanley smiling. Holy shit. What does it say there? Can you find them? Can you find them?
Now, here's something special. You remember that
Achievement.
broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yeah.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's
Really?
as simple as that.
Okay, I will switch it.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes
is
of
the
ravenous
sequel.
fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Do something. You're looking for it. Any buttons? Nope. Wait. It says you can't jump. I just got that achievement. Was that the achievement? Are you playing with me? Look at this truck. Look look around that creepy area. Look around in here. We look under here. What you gotta do in order for it to work? I'm looking around all this achievement stuff and I can't seem to find what works. Yeah, I can try that all day. It's not going to work. Oh well, let's head back.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
This one? No screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one.
And we took
I
one.
think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday
I'm gonna
and
press F12.
Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I took a screenshot. I'm taking screenshots right now. Are you pissed off, game? Alright, we'll take the blue balloon.
You know,
Happy 12th
sometimes
birthday,
when you
Stanley.
solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
What? I'm sure if I pressed Get Well Someday, it would have said Happy 12th birthday. What is this one doing down there? Alright, I'll press F12. Nope. Still doesn't do shit. Oh. Now the balloons have Get Well Someday on.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
You better keep that decision. Oh, some merch. I want to see the merch. Hey, what if I want the merch? It's, like I said, we went through that. Yep, that was the reassurance bucket. Is don't tell me this is the jump circle. Which jump circle? Hold on, I haven't seen which collectibles for each event in the whole. Where the fuck's a jump circle? Okay, oh well. What do you do with this bucket? Is this different? Oh yeah, this is the new jump circle. Hold on, we'll take a look at it.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Okay, decorative piece. Don't tell me this is all of it. There's gotta be more than just this. The exit. The exit. The exit. I think we looked at all the...
All right.
shipments here.
Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Whose suitcase is this? Alright, that is pretty megalophobia. Fear of big things. This thing is fucking enormous. No screenshots. Oh, I'm going to press F12 there, that's for sure.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah. Wait, how do I get down there?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort
all
of...
the things.
Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes. Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Version 2.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to
The
anything.
buttons.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they
pretty
won't
fine.
stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Put the
with
button-
respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Okay.
Would it possibly work?
Let's see.
I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Yeah, let's see if we
All
can
right,
whip something
perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
up. Oh, damn. This is real deal. Holy shit. Alright. Stanley Parable 2. Nice intro. Nice little... Yeah. Okay. Stanley Parable 2. Let's
This
see.
is the story of a man named
This
Stanley.
thing, do things change?
Stanley worked for a company in a big
balloons.
building where he was employee number 427.
Okay.
Employee number 427's job was simple.
Balloons.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk,
Yeah.
telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month of every year.
Okay,
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made
Similar
exactly
to how
for
we
this job.
saw it.
And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Stanley Parable
Something
2.
that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour
And the
when he
balloon's
realized
still
that not
here.
one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to
They're
give
still
him
here. The people on
instructions,
Sunday.
call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years
my
at the
goodness.
company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh my goodness.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
whole
decided to go
reset.
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fucking balloons are here. And the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yeah, the bucket. Of course I need the bucket. Oh well, 416 leads is a good place. It's the new content. But unfortunately, we cannot go to that new
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee
Yeah, the
lounge was
bucket's
simply the
calling.
place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this
sure.
better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
What a good bucket.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Yeah.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I'm still clutching this bucket.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Let's see.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
No.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah, I remember it. Still have this bucket.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Oh, yeah.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
This bucket? No, the bucket seems pretty good. What if I put it on the top of my head?
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Oh, shit. What the fuck? It's the Destroyer.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Goodbye, Bucket Destroyer. Can we get up? Oh my goodness. Right, we're still in the second game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
We
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, we're not picking up that bucket this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What if we head in here?
And so he detoured through the maintenance
Without
section,
this
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
We hid in here this time. Not that darned bucket.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Where could it be?
Now, let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
What was over there? Ah, a monitor room.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
The sequel.
All of his
Balloons are
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Room 420. I wonder what's there.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Yeah, we're finding that story. Damn, I wonder if there's anything so secret about this area. Pond, an old new place. Let's take a look. Nah, not too much. Where's all the other good story at? Perhaps in there? No.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Let's give it a shot. Let's just start like
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Still the sequel.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story.
Yeah,
okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Welcome
now this...
to death.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so
This
good
is in the,
job.
This was in the OG game.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Restart.
All right,
Stanley
I've got a
Parable
solution.
2.
This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure
Yay.
Line. Just follow the line.
Remember.
How simple is that? No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay then. Alright, I'll follow this darn line. Let's see if shit was different.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
Wait a second.
Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
1 second. Nope.
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
But if we reverse track... Could have that done. Nothing. Not a single darn thing. Alright, oh well.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting.
is
Just me
basically
and
the same
Stanley
as
forging a
all
new
those
path,
doors.
a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Me too.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it. It'll be fine.
It is a trademark for some reason.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Good thinking.
Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
Hold up. Imagine we can go back. The infamous
Hold up, what's this?
confusion ending.
The confusion ending? You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall.
Oh my goodness.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide?
Where's the
Why
continuation?
don't I get a
of the
say in all of this?
confusion ending?
Is it really?
I want to see
No,
it go
it
to the
can't be.
6th.
I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it.
What if I reset it? No, I don't know if that's... I'm gonna see.
Will that do anything?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, let's just continue the regular story how it is.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Because I want to see all the other aspects of the second game.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
Let's
his
check the
boss's
infamous
office.
boss's office. Well, where's all this stuff? Right, here's something. Alright. Alright, that's done with it.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Alright, where's all the other aspects of the game, I tell you?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Like I said, I'm going to continue with all the other aspects of the game.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Where's the jumping circles, huh? Where's the sequel?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each
Still the
bore the
sequel.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this
we gotta look
place
for
where
47.
freedom meant nothing.
There it is, right there, I see it. CCTV. Wait for it to appear. That is my room. How about that?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working.
All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yes. Alright, we're going on with the normal story, seeing how it all goes.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
It wasn't the original.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand,
Hallelujah.
but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Of course I was. Alright. So that is the second game I made. What if I carried the
All of his
bucket
co-workers
through
were...
the hole?
Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office? Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
We're going through the whole game.
Stanley clutched the
this
bucket
time
tightly to his chest
with
and
the
entered
bucket.
the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We're going with the bucket. Boom, boom, boom.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew
What a badass
the two of them
bucket.
were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, I saw it. Oh, well.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
If not for this
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Friendly here for me. I'm not going back up. I know it already does.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
No. Just kidding. Like I said, I'm gonna go through the whole game with the bucket in hand. And we're gonna see what difference it makes. What a long ass way. Huh. Makes it feel like this whole place is much longer than it already is. Whew.
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
Still have the bucket in hand.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Yeah, what's going on here, buckets?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
Oh, I gotta say,
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Who's this
The
one?
bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Yep.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of
what the
things
fuck?
does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yes. The bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
What are you doing?
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
What?
Birds. Silly birds.
Silly birds.
The control buttons became active again.
Alright, what if you press this button? Birds.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible
Silly
discovery.
birds.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, living through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the
bunch
possible
of silly
paths his life could have
birds.
taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
A bunch of silly birds, right? Look at all those silly birds. I wanted to see the silly birds. Alright.
All of his co-workers were
The
gone.
game's
What could it
ending
mean?
with the
Stanley
bucket.
decided to go to the meeting room. The confusion and the
see how
chaos
this
all
works.
seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Different games with the
Stanley
bucket.
clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. A cargo lift, yeah, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I'm doing it. See, I'm going on this way, bucket. Isn't this what you wanted? Bucket.
No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point.
This
Which,
isn't a
if
bucket.
that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire
Yes,
rest
it
of the
could.
game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Oh, sure. Okay. Alright, we're talking about
Now then,
buckets.
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Alright, I'm gonna
Okay,
put
let's
down.
begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Hell no.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket,
Oh, it's a
not an
hologram.
actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No, it's another hologram.
Correct. It is a 3D
3D,
printed recreation of
okay.
a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
That might be not a bucket.
Incorrect.
Oh, that's a bucket?
This is a bucket.
Okay. And the next one's surely a bucket. Oh, hell no.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
We all know that's a bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Oh no.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
It's not a bucket. Am I losing it?
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What? Let's open. Oh.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
It's not a bucket.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Everything is most certainly a bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out.
I've lost all sense of perspective.
Me
What
too.
is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. Yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
You probably
I'm
are a
losing
bucket.
myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay,
Bucket.
here we go.
No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear?
Everything was a
Was
bucket.
everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
We're not buckets.
Yes, I actually feel much more at
The whole
ease right
game was a
now.
bucket.
It's delightful to get some
Okay,
clarity
simple
on that
story.
issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Let's put
And
back all
we'll
of them.
know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Alright. Everything is most certainly a bucket.
All of his co-workers were... Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms, Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the direct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee
go the
lounge
whole
was simply
way
the
with
place to
the bucket.
be. And
Whole
here
way
it
the cargo
was.
lift.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
A minute if I have time because the stream ends at
No,
11:45.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
This dark room. Got it.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone.
I picked up the phone. Bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Where the hell did
Once
my
upon a
bucket go?
time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh, there it is. Show me your bucket. Trusted you. We'll take a look with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
It's my bucket.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Alright, run back.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't
bucket
talk.
go?
All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, but this bucket is more than that.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
I love my bucket.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
I didn't realize it could be night here. damn.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say?
TV.
Sturdier,
Bucket.
more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Yes, I would. G.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps, if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
What the hell is going on? Go back to work, Stanley. Go back to work, Stanley. How? What the fuck was that?
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
We're going
He'd never be alone again, not truly
insanity
alone.
ending
Not with the bucket
the bucket.
around.
Insanity ending with the bucket. Let's see how that works. Because that was one of the...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's see if me and the bucket go insane in there. I found it.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
No, we walked downstairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
The bucket.
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
Not my bucket.
Indeed. Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Avoiding the ground.
Gracious.
Gracious.
He exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
How's my bucket?
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
That's creepier.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Ooh.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked
gonna
up
be
her
me
bucket
with
of
the
comfort
bucket
and
in
security
hand.
and walked to her place of work. But on this
That was
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Backflip all the way to work. How send it to work? Alright, of course, we could do more bucket
All
things.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it
It's
mean?
getting really close.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
11:45.
The good old bucket.
Infamous time
Just
of
Stanley and the
11:45.
bucket. Off on another throat. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Wait a second. We're gonna go in here with our bucket.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At
Yeah,
last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
The stream's gonna end
No.
soon.
Said the bucket.
Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in
might
his
not
machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a
It's gonna end.
bucket! This is so stupid!